Hey, yo, what's up, Raymond? Long time no see. All right, so basically, this all started. I was up in Ventnor, and I went over to my friend's house. Everybody calls him Smiley. And this guy had an image of the Last Supper, but it wasn't like a painting. It was like a 3D kind of a thing, you know? And he had found I think, a Virgin Mary holding Jesus, but Jesus' arms had broken off, so he made a blanket out of clay. And so this guy was trying. He's a good guy. All right, and basically, I noticed on the back of the Lord's Prayer thing, it had a 666 in the barcode. And I mentioned that to him, and he got really, really upset, and I left. And he came over to the house hours later, just drunk out of his mind on beer. Eyes glazed over, frothing at the mouth. I'm wrestling him behind my house, out in the weeds, and I'm laughing hysterically, hoping nobody sees, because I didn't want somebody to come up and just shoot him for like grabbing me and tossing me around. So I wrestling with him for a while, and he reaches up and he feels my face and touches my face, and his eyes go like, and he's just staring up at this guy because I let him hold my face when we were wrestling, and he thought that I was gonna like bite him or something, I guess. So he just grabbed my face. So then for like the next 5 or 6 hours, I just sat and listened to him talk for like 6 hours. And he kept telling me that like God didn't love him and that God couldn't love him. And so I asked him, I said, well, hey man, like, how do you know God loves me? And he looks at me, he goes, you don't know that God loves you? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, like that. So that took me back. I was like, okay. And I say to him, I say to Smiley, well, if God loves me and I love you, why wouldn't God love you? And I felt this like surreal chill run down my spine and felt like just weird, like something was just in me, like, you know, like electricity or whatever. And so we talked for a long time more. And I just let him, I sat there and he would say stuff like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to slit your throat. I don't want to say it on YouTube, get like demonetized or whatever. Not that I'm monetized. But yeah, he just would say this stuff like violent threats for hours. And I would just ignore him. And I would sit there and I was watching videos on my phone. And he would say, hey, did you hear me? And I said, yeah, I'm just busy right now. And he would go, oh, I'm really sorry. And then I said, you don't have to be sorry. You didn't do anything. And repeat again and again and again. But here's the thing that freaks me out. I asked him about stuff and I said, hey, what do you know about stars? Do you know about 5-pointed stars? No, I don't know what that means. You 7-pointed stars? I don't know what that means. I said, what about a 6-pointed star? What does that mean? And he says, well, that would mean the rejection of perfection. This is just going to be a part 1. I'm going to send you this part.